Whether you're a first year in college right now or you're going to be in the next couple years, I'm sure it's no secret that the first year in college is one of the most confusing things ever, and for good reason. And during that time, there's so much potential to make mistakes. I made a lot in my freshman year last year, and I see a lot of my freshman friends making some right now. So I just wanted to talk about a few of the most common ones that I see that you want to avoid. So yeah, thanks for coming back for another video. My name is Shivan C. Drop a like, drop a sub if you haven't already. And any content ideas you want to see for 2021, which by the way, Happy New Year. And yeah, let's get into it. The first mistake is only signing up for classes that are either in your major or very closely related to your major. Especially if you have a school where you can jump into your major right away and start taking classes for it. It's going to be tempting to just start those as soon as possible and get them over with, and push your general education classes for later and not really try classes from any other major, because like what's the point? But I would strongly suggest only taking like 2, maybe 3 of your major classes in your first year, because first of all, as you progress through your major classes, they are going to get harder and harder. So if you take a lot of them in your first year, it's not going to be a fun experience. And trust me, if you're taking a random history class in your senior year of college, it's going to feel a lot worse than if you just got it over with in your first year and you don't have to worry about that gen ed for the rest of your time, and you can take more of your major classes as you get older. And at the same time, as you're going into your first year, you probably have a good or decent idea of what you want to major in, but not like a fully solidified idea. But if you're like me and you're leaning to one, but like slightly considering others, then take classes in the ones that you're slightly considering, because it might tip you over the fence a little bit. For example, for me, I was pretty set on a business major, but I tried out a like reporting class from the media and journalism school, and then I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would, and now I'm aiming to minor in media and journalism. So yeah, use your first year to explore, even if you're pretty decided on what your major is. Also, make sure you actually take time to plan out your schedule for your classes, because if you end up with a lopsided schedule, or like you have 4 classes on Tuesday, Thursday, and then only 1 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that is not going to be fun, because you're going to have a bunch of assignments due on the same day, and it'll get hectic pretty quickly. Another mistake also relating to classes is underestimating them. And yeah, I'm talking about everyone that aced their AP classes in high school thinking that that level is the same as a college class. That is not the case. College classes are harder than AP classes, no matter how they try to advertise it to you in high school. I guess the material itself is not too much harder, but the time commitment, the initiative you have to take by yourself is what makes it harder. And I actually did make a whole video about this as well. But yeah, do not go into your classes expecting them to be easy A's if that's what they were for you in high school. And also, if your grades start slipping in like your first or second semester and you're getting like C's, don't withdraw. I've seen a couple people just withdraw from classes if they're getting a C or even like a high D where it's possible to get a C. Don't do that, because if you withdraw after the pass-fail deadline, pass-fail if you want, but after that pass-fail deadline, do not withdraw, because it'll leave a W on your transcript, and what that'll look like to employers or whoever else sees it is most likely they're gonna think of the worst case scenario and think that you were getting an F in the class. So a C, while it will tank your GPA a little bit, it'll look better than a withdrawal. But if you are getting an F, then yeah, you might need to consider that. The next mistake, and yes, this goes for those of you who are doing college online for this semester as well, but not getting involved too much. And I was guilty of this last year. Throughout my first semester, I checked out like 2 or 3 clubs. I only applied to 1. I had like 1 position throughout the entire year. And then when the end of spring started coming and I was applying to internships and other positions, I realized like, crap, I do not have too much to show for on my resume. So I know it's tough to find stuff that you're genuinely interested in, and I do plan on making a whole video soon dedicated to helping you finding clubs and stuff like that. But yeah, search around your campus life website, try to form connections on LinkedIn, and find a few organizations that do interest you and see what positions they have available. And to tie in with that, there's sort of this like period in college, which is like the first month of freshman year, where everyone is trying to make friends because not many people know each other. And so that is the period where you really want to get involved the most and meet new people. Obviously, it's not impossible at all to make friends after that, but I'm just saying that's probably the best period to do so. Now, sort of combining everything I've talked about so far, the 4th mistake is going to be either prioritizing social life over academic life or heavily prioritizing academic life over social life. College is supposed to be a good split between the two. It's supposed to be a time where you can have fun with friends, but also buckle down sometimes and just grind and get those grades to help your career in the future. So on one hand, I see people that like only study, take the hardest classes, spend every minute trying to get the best grade possible, and they're not really experiencing that other side of college. But on the other side, I see people that just like go party every single night, go to every gathering during the day, barely spend any time in the library, and in turn their grades are affected. And so it's really important to have a mix of, say, going to dinner with friends, hang out with them for an hour after that, and then for the rest of the night grinding for a test you have tomorrow. So trying to find that balance in day-to-day college life is really important. The next common mistake that I see people making, and I genuinely don't know why so many people do this, but it's immediately buying the highest meal plan, whether that be unlimited or whatever the highest amount is at your school. I saw so many people just blindly buying those plans without really giving much consideration to lower ones. And I touched on this in my last video, but you're not gonna eat in the dining hall as much as you think in college. Even if you don't like cook anything in your dorm or your apartment, you're gonna be eating outside of the dining hall quite a bit, unless it's like right next to your dorm and you don't have any money to really spend on outside food. It's still, you're not going to be in there for 3 meals every day, every week. Now, I'm not saying don't buy a meal plan, but the mid-tier, sometimes even low-tier ones might actually be the best option, especially if you can make some quick meals in your dorm like ramen or something, or you eat fast food a lot. Another mistake, especially if you're living on campus, but even if you're not utilizing the free stuff that they give you. There's so much things you get just by being a student, and you can only get them for 4 years. So you might as well use it all up as much as you can throughout this time. And I'm talking about on-campus things like your gym membership is pretty much free. You can get some sports tickets for free. There's probably plenty of discounts for stores that are around your campus. Spotify and Apple Music student discounts that comes with Hulu and all of that. The ability to use every single Adobe product for free, which usually costs like $100. Access to every single facility on your campus. I know for our school we have free access to LinkedIn Learning, which is something that I never really explored, but I found that out a few weeks ago, and now there's a lot of interesting stuff on there that I want to check out. Handshake is another good one if you're trying to find internships, and just the network in general. If you reach out to people on whatever platform and you say that you're a UNC student and they went to UNC or whatever college, they're going to be more likely to respond to you, and you can form some relationships there. So throughout these 4 years, there's a lot more than what I mentioned. Just try to do everything to find those opportunities on and off campus and use them. The 6th or 7th or one of the mistake is going to be devaluing sleep. Now I know this sounds like the most cliche one, but that's because it's true. In college, everything happens at night, whether that be something fun or something that requires a lot of studying. It all happens at night. And so there's this huge pressure to sleep late no matter what. And if your first class the next day is at like noon, then that's fine. But unlike high school, where pretty much every single day had the same schedule and it was pretty monotonous, college is different every day. You're gonna have to get up earlier some days. You're gonna have to do a lot more some days than other days. And if you're sleeping that late every single day, that's going to take a toll on your productivity and your mental health. And in turn, that's going to affect your relationships and your grades, which are probably the 2 most important things in college. So just make sure you know what you have to do the next day and plan your night accordingly. As there are nights where you just say screw it and stay up late and get up early. And that's fine every once in a while, but if it becomes a consistent thing, then that's going to mess with you later. An example is from my day in the life video that I'm sure a lot of you have seen. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. because it was the night before exam, but I guarantee I would have gotten pretty much the exact same score if I only stayed up till 2 that day. So like there comes a point where you just drag it and you're really not gaining anything, and that time is better spent sleeping. And the final mistake that I'm going to touch on for this video is going to be relying on your car too much. And this really only applies if you have a car on campus or somewhere near campus. In college towns, traffic is 99% gonna be high pretty much throughout the entire day. So if you're counting on yourself to get up on time, drive to class, and make it there not being late every single day, I hate to break it to you, but that is not gonna happen. There's gonna be days where traffic screws you up. There's gonna be a day where you miss a turn, and just anything can happen with that. So make sure you're familiar with the routes, but at the same time, make sure you understand how the bus system or whatever other public transport there is around your campus, or just the walking routes, and how long it takes to get from place to place, because that can save you a lot of time. It doesn't work out. Plus, parking is just a mess in any college campus, especially if you don't have a permit for a place that's right near where your class is. So some days where you're on a time crunch, just don't bother with that hassle and try to find another method to get there. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this one. Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know if there's a mistake that you made that I didn't have on here that you want other people to know, or if you just want a part 2, there's definitely way more that I could talk about. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later. Peace out.